Hey guys, I'm Theo. Welcome back to another Genshin guide. In this video, I will talk about an old underrated topic that might help you in building teams and improving your damage. This topic is none other than elemental reaction and elemental mastery. Elemental reaction is one of the best mechanics in game that helps improve your damage output, and it is affected by your character's elemental mastery. There are still a lot of players who do not know how to fully utilize elemental reaction and elemental mastery in Genshin. This is also one of the main reasons why players complain that their characters are not doing enough damage. This is going to be a long video with a bunch of theories, but I will try to make it as simple as possible. Without further ado, let's jump right in. We have altogether 7 types of elements in Genshin: Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, Electro, Anemo, Geo, and Dendro. Elemental reactions occur when 2 different types of element react with each other. At the moment, there are 3 groups of elemental reaction in the game: the transformative reactions, the amplifying reactions, and the crystallized reaction. Dendro-related reactions might be released in the future. Transformative reactions include Overload, Shattered, Electrocharged, Superconduct, and Swirl. These reactions have a base damage that only scales with the level of character that triggers the reaction, the elemental mastery of the character that triggers the reaction, the elemental resistance of the enemies, and reaction bonuses such as 4-piece set bonuses of Crimson Witch and Thundering Fury set. The damage of transformative reactions cannot crit. That is why these reactions have way less damage than the amplifying reactions. Transformative reaction deals an additional damage instead of replacing the damage of the hit that triggers the reaction. Amplifying reactions include Melt and Vaporize. These reactions will amplify the damage of the hit that triggers the reaction. For example, when a character deals pyro damage to enemies affected by cryo, melt occurs. The hit that triggers a melt reaction will have a 2 times increase in damage. If the order is reversed, such that when a character deals cryo damage to enemies affected by pyro, a reverse melt reaction occurs. The hit that triggers a reverse melt reaction will have a 1.5 times increase in damage. The same concept applies to vaporize and reverse vaporize reactions. Crystallize reaction is fairly simple. It is triggered when a character deals geo damage to an enemy affected by pyro, hydro, electro, or cryo. This reaction creates elemental shards that can be picked up to gain an elemental shield of the corresponding element. The strength of crystallized shield depends on your geo character's level and elemental mastery. Now comes the complicated part. It is very important to understand which element is the triggering element and which is the aura element, because the damage of the reaction is based on the triggering character, not the aura character. Let's take Xingqiu and Xiangling combo as an example. Xingqiu's burst applies hydro element so fast that the hydro element will always hit the enemy first before Xiangling's pyronado hit the enemy. So in this combo, Xiangling is the one that triggers the reverse vaporize reaction instead of Xingqiu. So, to increase the vaporize damage, you need to build high elemental mastery on Xiangling, not Xingqiu. This concept of triggering element and aura element also applies to other groups of elemental reaction. The next important thing to know for elemental reactions is ICD. ICD stands for internal cooldown. If you think this is too much to process for a casual gamer, feel free to skip this part. ICD simply refers to how soon a character can deal elemental damage to trigger an elemental reaction. I will use Hu Tao as an example. Hu Tao can deal insane amount of damage by triggering melt or reverse vaporize reactions. Although her elemental skill infuses her normal and charged attacks with pyro damage, not every single normal attack hit can trigger a melt or vaporize reaction. Her pyro-infused normal attack can only trigger reactions every 2.5 seconds or every 3 hits. But her charged attacks has no ICD. So every charged attacks can deal huge melt or vaporize damage. Every character has different ICD for their attacks and skills. Before we end, I would like to give you a few tips to help maximize your damage when using elemental reactions. Choose a good support or sub-DPS character who can apply rapid and constant aura element, so your DPS will be able to trigger reactions more consistently. Build high elemental mastery on the triggering character instead of the aura character. Although elemental mastery can improve reaction damage, you should still prioritize crit stats when building your DPS. Sacrificing crit for elemental mastery will lower your damage output. But, for supports that scales off elemental mastery like Kazuha and Sucrus, you can build full elemental mastery without worrying much about their crit stats, because their main role is to buff the team. Do not focus on transformative reactions for your main DPS, because those reactions damage cannot crit. Think of the transformative reactions as an additional damage instead of your main damage. So that's about it for this video. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button to support my channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Peace.